Don't forget True Grit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't mention True Grit.
Hello and welcome to the special live Tuesday afternoon show with Phil and Matt. Hope you're all doing very well. Hope you all had a nice weekend. So I'm in between glasses. I can't see a thing if I wear them, and I can't see anything here if I don't. If I have to have them on for short range. Long range, you're all a blur. But yes, trust you all had a good weekend. I'm back at it. Did you have a nice weekend, Matt?
Yes, did actually.
After the Saturday show, clearly.
Yeah, no, very productive and nice weather. Like I said, we've actually got sunshine at last.
I know, glorious.
Summer's
22
arrived.
degrees. It felt proper summery. In fact, I broke the seal. I had our first barbecue last night.
Oh, you're behind the times. I did ours on the last bank holiday.
Oh, far too cold for that here.
Oh no, it was warm up here. Actually, it was nice. So yeah.
Yeah, so I had to do that thing of cleaning the barbecue for the first time this year because I never cleaned it after the last one last year. I didn't find a mouse in it like I did the year before. Opened up, there's a mouse there. I'm like, I don't remember eating one of them.
Yeah, that we had at the barbecue.
Yeah, that's it. So it was like, okay, but no. Anyway, good scrub down and get the old bleachy stuff on it. Good to go. It's fine. Last year's sort of grease for this year's flavouring. That's like it.
A wok in it. So
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can't clean it properly, otherwise you'll ruin it.
Yeah. Here we go. Sorry about this. Who's this? What's up with him?
Who's that?
Hello.
He's live.
What's Andy ringing me for? Andy?
Is he just bum rung you by mistake? Is he in chat?
Perhaps we can't hear us. Perhaps we've got no sound. Have we got sound?
Have we got sound, everybody? Can anyone hear us?
Hello.
Hello. Testing 1 2. Everyone says afternoon. No one's saying anything, so I think we're okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure we are. Let the lag come through, and everyone will say we're good.
Because
it's showing all good from me. Mummy's calling everyone.
What's up?
Trigger Happy TV.
Who's sound? Sounds terrible, apparently, Phil.
Does it?
Is the sound terrible, people?
What's up with us? Sounds good. They're all saying sounds good. It must be Andy.
It's you, mate. Everybody's happy.
Hello. Genuinely, is our sound okay, everyone? Are we all okay? Because Mum's on the phone telling us that sounds bad. Everyone's saying sounds good. Sounds fine. It's Andy.
He needs his ears cleaning out.
Yeah, he needs waxing or whatever they do.
Yeah, everybody says, all right, cool. Anyway, where was we, Phil?
Sorry. Yes, where were we? That was a call from our sponsor to member. Don't forget to mention the auction.
Yeah.
But no, been really, really busy so far this week. I've got a couple of bits down here we'll talk about as well. And then obviously a little bit later on, I'm going to be showing you on the Hurricane. You might remember on Saturday, I was just about to do the brown work, which to be honest, I did this morning. So I'm going to show you about using tackworm technique for masking out. I was going to do the paper technique, but it's a really simple one on this one. Plus, I've done full videos about that one recently. So I will show you about using the old tackworm, and then we'll get the green onto this one and we'll unmask it. And then on the next show, we can tackle the decals, which is only a handful, so that'll be nice. So we can do that. Obviously, I've been doing a review today. You might have seen it on the Kotare Spitfire. It is up in our reviews. It'll make it out to the mass audience at some point in the very near future over on YouTube. But the review is up now on the site. You can see my personal thoughts of what it's like. Genuinely, it's really nice. Again, the instructions are as we would expect. Very wing-esque. Full details, the colour call-outs and the details right the way through on these instructions are absolutely beautiful all the way through. And then obviously, marking options, very nice indeed, as you can see. Some nice reference photos right the way through. The decals are really nice because I assume they're cartograph, although it doesn't say it, but I'm guessing they are because they look just like theirs. And again, the plastic, yeah, it's beautiful. I think this is probably the best surface detail on a 1/32 aircraft I've ever seen. The actual panel line detailing is so crisp, so sharp, it's absolutely fantastic. But what's really nice with this one is obviously it's correctly done with raised rivets. So you've got sunken rivets or flush rivets like here, which are beautifully done over the kit, but the rest of them are all domed rivets over the actual fuselage, as you would expect. Very, very nicely done all the way through. ejector pins are all hidden out of the way, so when it gets to anywhere that counts, like up here and then here, they are no ejector pins. So again, they are there, but they are hidden out of the way. And as we were sort of saying before, because the wings are puttied on these, it's got raised dome rivets down where they are. The rest of it would have been puttied, apart from the access panels and things like that, which obviously aren't. So again, very, very nicely done, top and bottom, right the way through. And again, like I was saying, it's a shame there isn't a little bit of a sink mark on these, because then that would make fantastic for sort of stress skin effect, but they're not. The one time you'd actually work quite well, they're not. But anyway, the rest of it is very, very nice, very crisp, very detailed. Yeah, really, it's one of those things, what's not to love? The only thing that's not to love really is the price. I did speak about it at length. It's well worth seeing or listening to my waffling on reviews about this one. You know, at the end of the day, you pay your money, you take your choice. Yes, it hasn't got an engine. Yes, it hasn't got any flaps that are deployable. Yes, it is a lot of money for that type of kit. But honestly, listen to my thoughts about this one, because as I said before, you're paying for what is a beautiful sort of curbside model. It's got beautiful details right the way over it and all the rest of it. And I think if you listen to what I say about obviously a new company, you know, obviously starting out, they're trying to get the money back in. Hopefully they can develop their range and take it on properly and have a profitable company working right the way through. You will see on balance, it's probably not that too bad. You know, when I talk about the instructions, they are so beautifully done. They're a joy, you know, an absolute joy. And I'm expecting that kit to be as good, if not better, than a Tamiya kit going together. It looks like it's an absolute gem. So hopefully it will be. Anyway, well worth having a look. You can go off, have a look on the site now, and you can see all about that one. It's up on there. So it'll be out to the YouTube world either later today, or obviously it'll be up in the morning over there as well. So yes, that's my thoughts down in there.
Does look nice.
Does. Very, very nice.
Are you tempted?
Yes, I am actually. Yeah, I am. I'm a bit spitfired out with all the ones we've been doing last year as well, because obviously I worked on a couple last year. We're looking at Hurricanes at the moment. I want to do the other Hurricane, so to jump in with that one, and I assume everybody on the old YouTube, they'll all be all over it and doing it as well. But no, it's one of those kits that it's a bitter pill to swallow when you're talking about 110 quid for a 30-second kit, which doesn't come with an engine. There's no photo etch in there. There's no mask set. There's no this. There's no that. There's no the other. But if you was like me and Matt have spoken about this before we came on air, if you was to put an engine into it, then you did gun bays in with it, then you did a photo etch set with it, maybe you did something with the wheels as well, and you did the flaps, then you're going to be looking at 150 quid plus, which no one's going to pay for. So I can understand somewhat what they've done. They've made a really nice model, and I'm sure aftermarket may came along. It's just that we did point out, perhaps if they had designed aftermarket stuff for it, could have been an option to people to buy as an upgrade, or perhaps they did two versions of it, the standard kit and maybe a royal version that comes with all these bits inside for the collector who wants to do something else like that. May have been something to think about. But obviously this is their first kit. They've been spending money probably like water for the last 2 years, and now they need to get some back in the bank to be able to develop and to go through. And from what I can tell from this, we're going to see a Mark II. We're definitely going to see a Mark V. So hopefully it won't be too long before we'll see other, ones coming out of this stable as well. So give you plenty of choice on those ones. So yes, it should all be very good on there. Yes, that's what I've been up to. And obviously, big thing for me is we finished the bulldozer. Oh Christ, this thing moves. Keep forgetting it moves. So down in here, if I just go, where are we? Here you can see the bulldozer, which is a little bit tricky to hold. Is all done. You know how difficult this is at this angle. But yes, it is all finished off, all finished and everything else like that. So the final part that went up for members yesterday. You can go off and see that right now. Obviously, it's all about pigments. So we were using pigments independently. We were using them with fixer, i.e. a little bit of enamel thinners. And then we were using pigment mixed with the thick wash as well for doing flicking techniques and various lumps and bumps and the gooey stuff underneath this thing. Now, this thing is going to go on a display base at some point. So some point in the future, we will be doing a display base for this and all the rest of it. And we'll be showing all about that, where it'll have its final weathering as well. So it's blended to the surface it's going onto. But to be honest with you, I've had more fun building this than I have any other model kit for a long time. It was just fun right from the beginning. And it was one of those ones where, to be honest with you, every time I come to work on this, I was quite excited. because there was something good going on. Even the actual building of it and putting it together, it was fun all the way through. It's not like you've got wings all over the place and there's engines and it comes together. That you're just adding onto it like a Lego all the way through, and it just builds before your eyes, and you're adding all of that detail. But to be honest with you, I've spent 2 weeks weathering it and loved it. It's fun poking at it.
It is poking at it with a brush.
Poking at it with a brush. It must have 10 layers of weathering on that now, and it's good because they all show it's all worth it all the way through. So, but anyway, final part of that one went up. People, you can see that one, or members anyway, you can see that one now. That completes that build. It's an 11-parter, and as I said, in the near future, once we get a few more settled things down in here, I'm going to do diorama bases for the Huey. We obviously do one for the Dozer, and we do one for the Tempest as well.
Blimey.
So
busy
my plan
boy.
is also what I'd like is a general base as well. So things like World War II aircraft can sit on it for photos.
Yes.
And it would be nice to do like a modern base. I've got a bit of an idea. I need them to be about this big so they can fit over what will be my new photo studio over there, and I can take nice photos of them instead of them just whizzing around on plinths.
Yeah. I can see your point.
So yes, it would be nice to do that. So anyway, what have you been up to, Matt?
Really, not as much as I should be, if I'm perfectly honest. But I have been. Just switch out the camera. From Saturday, took this thing together. So got the cockpit in, even the instrument panel, which was bit vague. I think is the word.
So did you leave that 1 mil? What you talking about? Needed a 1 mil gap at the top. I can see a small gap in there. Did you sort of measure it or just wing it?
No, well, I kind of winged it, usual, and it just placed it and blobs of super glue to hold it into position. Yeah. Look, I've got that slower setting stuff so you can manoeuvre it because there's literally no really locating. It's a bit vague. Yeah. But it's in the ballpark going off the instructions. So we've got that together. We've got the wings on. Does need a bit of filler, as you can see. It's not too bad. And then around the front, I did manage to snap one of the machine guns off, though. So I'm going to drill them out and probably, like I say, put a bit of brass tubing in or something to replace them because they are going to get in the way, full stop. Yeah. And there was a little bit of a gap, usual thing with this sort of design of aircraft, and it's very rare you don't get something at this back. Yes. But overall, not too bad. So what I did was, to be honest with you, all the main seams was a bit of super glue, which you see, a bit of black super glue. Just run it in literally with that, and just down there, sanded that off and smoothed it all up. And then the wings, actually, I did super glue fill the wings as well to a point, and then it's just a spot of over the top, which probably looks a lot more than I've actually used, is this stuff. Oh yeah. And then just 600 wet and dried it back, to be honest, with the them main sanding sponge things, display, whatever they are. One of them. Yeah. You can see that one. So just to tidy up. So we're pretty much down. I'm going to add all the odds and sods. So props built. As you can see, I've chucked that together. And obviously the spinner is here. So that one's doing. And I'm going to that's just pushed in the undercarriage. Because it's quite a nice tight fit, to be honest. So when I'm spraying it, I'm going to put the rear wheel in as well, and just for ease of painting, really. Get the cowling painted so I can get the glass work on, masked up. Asset, look, mask set. Need a mask set. Happy days. I know it says Academy, but same kit. So there you go. If you ever build one, you know you can get a mask set if you're that way inclined. Me and Phil were just discussing, weren't we? Let's just pull the camera out a little bit. Normally, when I build aircraft, I leave loads of bits off and then have a load of fiddling about at the end trying to fit it, because my worry is obviously handling it, weathering it, decaling it, whatever, and knocking it all off. Yeah. But this sprue that you can see here, or runner, is what I've really got left. There's not a lot on it. Exhaust stacks, underbay, wheel bay doors and stuff, and then this goes under the front of the back of the engine. I think that just fits in there. Yeah. So I'm going to fit it all up, to be honest. I'm going to leave the wheels off in the prop and the tank, paint them separate. But everything else, I think I'm going to paint in situ. And to be honest with you, actually, the Vallejo metal colours is excellent for brush painting. And obviously, an undercarriage this size, I'll get away with that anyway. The wheel wells will be painting and stuff. But yeah, it's coming on. I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest. So nice. Not a bad little kit. Not many parts. Very Japanese-esque, I would say.
Yes.
With, you know, I suppose you can think sort of Tamiya and Hasegawa. So you get about three sprues and you're pretty much there. So not very overly complicated. But yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. It's going to look like a P-40. So I've got all my bits like I showed you the other day. I've got the decals now, massets here. So everything's, I can just get cracked on. I will show you what else has turned up. Let me dig it out for you. I can't bring the box because it's massive. But obviously I did show it. This beastly.
Yes.
Well, now I've got some goodies for it. So I've been ear scaling. So I've got an instrument panel, which is definitely an upgrade on the Airfix kit one.
Yes, I can imagine that. Yeah.
You know, yeah. I've got some nice placards. No idea where they go, but they look good.
Yes.
Figure that out. Seatbelt, because obviously this scale needs a decent set of seatbelts. And undercarriage, undercarriage leg stenciling as well.
Very nice.
So there's not a lot you can get for this, like I said before. So I've got some of the bits you can, but I think that will definitely be a decent upgrade.
Definitely, yeah.
And Airscale does some nice stuff as well if you've never used them.
If you've never used them, yeah, no, they do some great stuff.
Because they do some really nice instrument panel decals, don't they? Like this, but all separate.
Yes, yeah. I must admit, I've got those, and if you go back to whichever one I was doing, when I was doing a little bit of scratch work on the F-15, we used some of their general sets.
Yeah.
For like instrument panels and bezels and all those different types of things. So I was using those as well.
So yeah, so I think these will come in useful as well for the 109. I've got the Airfix 109 as well at some point to do. So anybody who don't know, this is hopefully I'm going to get this done for before end of November. But yes, I've got my work cut out because I've heard it's not the greatest kit in the world fit wise. There are a few issues, shall we say? So we'll see if we can overcome them. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
What's not to love about a 24 scale kit, eh?
I can see it. It's that, but yeah, I think it's this bit here that's the problem. The engine sits too far forward.
Yes.
I think you have to either leave a couple of parts off or trim them, from what I've read, just to move it back a bit. Because it throws everything out, and that's something to do with the wheel wells as well, as I remember rightly. Wherever they are, I don't know. Probably they are. But yeah, these parts here, them. They're too thick. I think you have to thin them down so everything drops in. So yeah, a bit of fettling.
Very nice, cool. Speaking of fettling, I've been, obviously, as a lot of you know, I've been tentatively looking at the 124 scale C Harrier by Airfix as well. Things were all mental. And
mental, definitely.
So obviously the ejector seat for it is it. So it's a little bit plain. Now, our friend John on the forum 3D printed me off in PLA a replacement seat, just as a little bit of a sizing tool and everything else. And to be honest, it did come up a little bit short. All right. So we were like, well, that's not going to work. So anyway, after a little bit more fettling and all the rest of it, we've got this one, which Andy printed off for me. We sent the file over to Andy. It's a true multi guy who's the job on this. And we've ended up with this. So we've got the correct seat now, all set and ready to go for it. Because you can't buy a 24 scale seat for the Harrier.
No.
So we've managed to source one now and got one sorted and all the rest of it. So again, very much exactly what we're after. So I've just done a little bit of testing today. So I've sort of mocked up the cockpit as it is, all right, or as it will be down in here like this. And again, you can see it has got a few issues like massive gaps and yeah, it's just showing its age now. So we're going to take care of some of the little details like that. But what we want to do is make sure the seat fitted and all the rest of it. So if we pop our seat in there now, we've now got our seat looking very much the part and exactly what we wanted. Because to be honest, I can liven up using the same type of stuff that Matt just had down in there from, you know, using some aftermarket little bits for the instrument panel and stuff like that is what I'm going to do. But the seat is something you can't really, you know, unless you're going to scratch build one and do it all, which I didn't fancy. So we've got a fantastic seat in there now. And then earlier I was just mocking it up to see how well this would all fit in. As you can see, the seat fits. I've got some photos for you, John. I'll send them over to you. But you can see it fits perfect, absolutely 100% perfect. And when we've done testing with the little pilot figure as well, to be honest, obviously you've got all the belts in here. If he didn't have all the belts in here and all the rest of it, he would be a perfect fit in here as well. So he does fit absolutely perfect to it. So I think we are all good. We'll be all right with it. So that's what we got. I'm probably not going to have the pilot in really, because now you've done a fantastic seat, I want to display it. So the chances are we won't actually put a pilot figure into this one. So this is part of my big project for the summer. Yeah, this looks lovely. This is because this is the later forward fuselage, because obviously, as you might know, this particular kit comes with the Mark III onto it, and then you have to cut off the nose to turn it into a Mark I. The Mark II, you have to cut the entire front off of it, and then because this bit is a lot taller, the canopy is a lot more bubbled, and this pilot sits higher. So it's actually got a different forward fuselage altogether. And the reason why it's going to be a while is because the rest of it looks like this. So this is the original bit. So obviously all this riveting is just horrible. So what the plan is literally is that we're going to rescribe it all, and then I'm going to come in and fill it all. Now the reason for rescribing it all is because obviously we're going to lose a little bit out of these panel lines. So, and also I know where they are. So we're going to go around, rescribe everything, and then we're going to fill all of these here. And then I'm going to take photos of each of the parts, and I've got references as well and all the rest of it, and then come back and re-rivet it a little bit more nicer, shall we say.
In scale.
The rest of it a little bit more in scale to what this has got, because as I say, it's not that nice. It probably gives you an idea of what it, but the entire thing's like this, which for its day I think was probably very good. But
it probably
nowadays,
cutting edge back in 1970.
cutting edge, it would have been. But even like I've had trouble because even just removing these parts, look, my cutters aren't big enough.
Yeah, you might break them.
I can't.
I'd get a saw on them, mate. Get the laser saw out.
I can't even get me knife and me cutters in. They don't go that wide. So yeah, you just have to be careful even removing some of the parts off the sprues because it's just a little bit gnarly. But to say that's my big project. It's all down in here. So over the next few weeks, once this one's moving along quite nicely, you'll see a lot of these on the shows. Obviously, a lot of it I'll be doing as a members thing as well. But what I will be doing is obviously doing a lot of filling, sanding, and upgrading, scratch building, various things. So got the seat, which was the main thing I wanted. Obviously the cockpit I can do a lot myself. We've got some wheels for it, which is the only thing that's available aftermarket at the moment for this kit. So yes, that'll be something you can follow along through, and it's going to be the big long summer project as we make our way through on this one, because again I am going to be starting probably tomorrow on the Beaufort. I've got all the stuff for that, so that's the next proper build coming along. But we are going to start work, as you can see already, on testing this one, making sure, as I say, once we get the filler sorted and all the parts and it's done, then we can start thinking about actually getting it together and moving our way forward with it. So it should be quite a lot of fun on that one.
I think it will be.
I say fun.
Well, yeah, I'm with you really. Suffering. It's going to be then when you're satisfied when it's done, I think. Think the VC10, Phil.
Yes, it is. It's going to be like the VC10. But again, that's what I've said. I'm going in eyes wide open because it's an all-full kit. So it can only go one way. It's going to improve what it would look like. That's the way I look at it.
Well, yeah, that's the way I look at it. What are you filling it with?
Bondo. No, I don't know yet. To be honest with you, I've got some various putties, but it might be just a case of just going to come in with talcum filler. CA glue, making up some and just light skimming it all over. That way, at least we don't get any sink marks.
Yeah, that's true. You could trowel it on.
DA sander.
Using the sander thing behind you.
Yes, that's it. I've got my belt sander on
here.
Belt
sander.
So yeah, I'll just run the parts in there and we'll be good to go with it. So what possibly could go wrong? So yeah, no, it'll be all right. But actually now that's done, now I've got even just mocking this up, I'm quite into it now. I'm thinking, look, we can pop the nose on. We've got the beginnings of a Harrier here.
Do you know what? You're missing a trick there. You could just build that front end.
Yes.
As a simulator.
Yes, you could have it as a sim.
Yeah.
But I must admit, even the nose fits, which is a start.
Mind you, that's a lot later, isn't it? What did we say that was the Harrier?
Came out a few years later, this one. I think it's in the 80s, this one was, yes.
I thought it was later than that, the Sea Harrier.
The Sea?
Yeah, I thought the GR3 was after, and then the Sierra was like the 90s, weren't it, or something? I don't know. Because that's completely I'm thinking, that styrene for that is remember the original Lightning?
Yes,
that era
that is. Yeah, it is. Same stuff. It's a harder.
Yes, and the Buccaneer, I think, was in that styrene as well. So I mean, scale mates. But yeah, because I was quite surprised when we was looking up the date of the Sierra, how late it was compared to the others.
Yes.
So,
unfortunately, they didn't redo the rest of it, which would have been nice.
have you ever built the Airfix 24th Mark 5?
Yeah. Yes. A long time ago. Yeah, but I have.
Is it crap?
I think again the trouble you've got is that a lot of things like the guns and stuff like that, it's got them all in there. There's no real detail, but you put a gun in and it's got a panel for it. All the panels are way too big, so if you display it closed, you've got to go around filling them all up. So it leads it. And if I remember rightly, the wing roots aren't pretty. But to be honest, when I did it, would have probably been early mid 90s. So yeah, my skills have probably improved as in patience. I've got a lot more patience with it than I did back then. But,
hold up. Trev's offered me some MG17 barrels that he's left over from his Airfix 190. Depending on how, because you're in Canada, aren't you? Depending on how much postage is, postage bloody horrendous. But to be honest, I could probably get some from here anyway. To be honest, I can get some barrels from. I did think of getting some, but I'm just going to wait and see how the build progresses before. But thanks for the offer. But yeah, don't think for the postage because I think from Canada to here probably quite expensive to be honest for what they are.
Yes.
Unless you can stick in an envelope, put a stamp on them. But thank you anyway for the offer. Yeah, I'll probably upgrade the gun barrels at some point. Like I said, I've just got the main stuff I need for the cockpit, and sort that out in the engine and make get all that to fit, and then I'll move on to the other parts later because I wouldn't mind an upgrade on the wheels. That was the one thing because they got the rubber, horrible old school way of doing it. So I might, have a chat with our man.
I must admit, that's the nice thing with this because you got hold of them. But who are they? They Res Kits wheels for this one?
Res Kits, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got the Res Kits because as I say, it has got the rubber tyres in there, but they're a bit, yeah. So if we can avoid them at all costs, we will. So.
Well, that's it, isn't it? But say with your seat now, with 3D printing, it does open up a world of possibilities for older kits and upgrading. I know, obviously, it needs CADing and stuff, but like that seat's just absolutely just bang that up of God knows how many levels of the original kit. Just put in a decent seat in it. Never mind the rest of the cockpit. So it's good. I'm itching to get ours up and running.
This is it. This is it now. Now I've seen that one turned up. As I say, I sent it over to Andy at the weekend. Andy would print it at the weekend, got it in the post to me on Saturday, and it was on Monday. And it was like, when it arrived, it's better than I ever thought. Because I had the original version here when we were doing the tests, and I thought that was good. And then obviously turning up in resin, you're like, it takes it to another level because there's no cleanup. It doesn't need anything doing to it. You just need to coat a primer and paint it. So that's the nice thing with it. The detail is all there, really, really sharp, very nice.
Just to answer Richard on our chat, Mr. Buller's the one you want to be. He's got the 24th Stuka. Literally everything for it as well. I think he's going quite to town on it. He's got two, but one he's bought an earlier one because what he was saying, the later ones that he got, the molds were a bit not brilliant, shall we say. I don't know, hopefully, because they're re-releasing it again soon. It'll be, cleaning them up and tidied up, because they've done on a lot of the older kits, haven't they, the vintage classics. They've actually gone back and retooled a few bits, and like I say, I think they've cleaned the molds up a lot, so they're not just flashing and worn out. So, but yeah, Mr. Buller's the man with that. I tell you what I've got as well for my Pop Wolf. I never showed it the other day. I don't think. I can't remember if I did or I didn't. So I've got to thank Nick, who's a member. He knows if he's watching this, because he bought a load of books to the store, and I'm like, I'm doing armour now and all this. But actually, he bought this. I dug this out, and it's actually a really nice little reference book for.
Show us the cover.
Hold on. Oh yeah, I'm figuring there.
You're on this one.
Sorry, that one.
There we go. Yeah.
My apologies. Hold on. I'll change cams again. I need a switcher box, Phil. I've got to get one.
You do. I know. We'll sort you one out.
I've got to get one. It's annoying. So yes, this is a book. Yeah, I'll bring me bits of phone. I say that the old reference material is invaluable at the minute, and especially some at that big.
Yeah.
So you obviously got engines and layouts and even detailed plans.
Yeah.
I've got to figure out mine, and some nice actually pictures as well for weathering and whatever, So yeah, cracking little book actually. So keep hold of that. I think it goes for all of them up to the later ones as well, I think. So yeah, TA152s and D9s probably, and all sorts are in here. So yeah, I can't stress enough. Reference books is the future. I'm talking of reference books, actually, for the members, the Duke Hawkins books are on the way.
Cool.
They have been dispatched, and hopefully we'll have them here by the end of the week. So hopefully, if they're obviously before Friday,
yes,
we'll get them out to you. If not, obviously it'll be after the bank holiday next week. But they are winging their way to us as we speak, which is good.
Just to answer a couple of questions, because we've got them in there as I remember them. First of all, is this one. This is the new dust washes, which will be, again, to be honest, they're still in final testing at the moment. I've got a load made up, but I just want to make sure the test ones are still all okay. So they're going to be ready probably around about the end of the month. So you've got the normal original in the wash, the thin wash version. Obviously, it's going to come in the thick version. Again, it's not gone out to the stockists yet or anything else like that. So I've just got to confirm a couple of things. I like to give them a sort of 6-month window just to make sure that nothing funny happens with them. As I say, the last thing I want to do is stick them out all out to you guys, and then in 6 months' time, somebody starts saying, do you know it's growing? Or, you know, it's changed or something. So I just need to make sure they're all good. And at the moment, they are still absolutely fine. The ones that are out in testing are absolutely golden, and they haven't separated or done anything funny. So I don't expecting they will, but I've just got to make sure. But hopefully these will be out either, it's going to be within the first 2 weeks of next month or at the end of this month. But yeah, they will be coming down the line shortly. But as I say, these are just my ones. I know Matt's got a few as well sitting on at the moment.
I have indeed. Yeah.
But again, it's one of those ones. As soon as I know they're all okay, I'll do it. But the last thing I want is to find out suddenly they do something funky after sitting in the bottle for over 6 months. So yes,
just
it'll be one of those.
Sorry, mate. Lister's got a question on YouTube chat about, does anybody else do a big scale Harrier apart from Airfix? Yes, is that 1/18th one, isn't there? From
I Love Kit used to be, wasn't it?
I Love Kit, yeah. Or Obby Boss or whoever it's come out. But yeah, that's. I don't think anybody else does them.
That's an AV8B Harrier. It is,
yeah. So. And then some other AV8 and a GR7, isn't it? From Trumpeter in 32nd.
Yeah, which I've done. There's a free video to watch on that if you want to go off and see that one. I did the AV8B version. They do the night version as well, the one with the radar as well, the various bits of those. They do, I think there's 4 different types ones they do. To be honest, they're really nice kits. If you want a normal Harrier build without being stupid, have a look at that one, because that's actually a really nice kit. Somebody else was just asking about the RAF version of the Mustang.
Oh, yeah.
So the only company I know who do it in 32nd scale is Zucamori, did one.
God, yeah.
Apart from that...
Wasn't that the Dooley Bird one, was it, though? It still weren't an early...
No, it wasn't a Mark III Mustang like Tamiya did in 48 scale. Yeah. Because it's got like a Spitfire's canopy on it.
Yes.
So it's not like the D you see it, although the RAF did fly like with the D with it, with a bubble canopy and all the rest of it.
I think, sorry to interrupt you, if you want an early one, Revell did one back in the day. But
right.
I don't say what qualities, I've never seen one, but I'm pretty sure I think Revell did that'd be an Allison engine one, would it?
I don't know. As I say, I know they were pushing them with the Mustang as well, wasn't it? I know the early ones had the Allison engine, and I think the Mark III has the Allison version that looks like a Spitfire canopy on it.
Yeah.
And then obviously I think they all just moved over to the Merlins, wasn't it? When they went to the Ds, the later ones.
Yeah.
But off the bat, the only one I know who makes one that's from straightforward out of a kit and go for it is the Zucamori one.
That's it. The Malcolm Hood one, that's the one I was trying to get out of my brain.
Yes.
It was there somewhere, it's just getting it extracted. The Malcolm Hood one. I'm sure it could be Revell, could be correct. Somebody will know on chat, won't they? But yeah, finding one. Yes, they did. Thank you, James. See, James knows they did. I'm not completely losing the plot. Didn't dream it.
Yes. Any news on styrene and stuff? To be honest, don't forget we've had some massive pre-orders and new lines we're taking on with the books and stuff. As soon as we get this sorted and we get some pennies in the bank, we will be doing the styrene line and all the rest of it. Something that will be coming along in the summer. So fear not on that one.
Yeah.
That'll be added into that line.
It's called business cash flow.
Yes,
And
we
anybody
haven't got any.
who's run a business knows about
Yes,
cash flow.
absolutely. So as soon as we've got some, we'll spend it. But at the
Yeah.
moment, we haven't got any to spend.
Yeah.
Again, we've just got some massive pre-orders going on at the moment. So as soon as they're down and back in the bank, then we'll be going into other stuff as well. Does anyone know if there's a 3D cockpit for the Hobby Boss EF18F? Or would another kit set work? Again, shoehorning other people's resin cockpit sets like one for Hasegawa and things like that, they never work. You usually have to fiddle them around so much to get them in. It's easier to go with the mate one. It depends what you're after, Paul. If you're just talking about replacing out the seats, which is what you could get away with, that's a standard ejector seat on those ones that anybody's will fit into it. So, you know, with the cockpits, I don't think are too bad on the Hobby Boss ones. I've got them all here. I've got the E, the F, and the G kit, and I actually didn't think the cockpit was too bad at all. Again, you could just pop in an aftermarket seat into it if you wanted to go that way.
Could I do a bit on the P-40 while you're doing that?
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yep. I'll do questions and then we'll swap over.
We'll swap, and
I'll put you onto screen. There we go. Trumpeter did a big RAF Mustang, but not sure if it was 32nd or 24th.
Who was that? Sorry.
Apparently, Trumpeter did a big RAF
Mustang. 32nd.
Yeah.
They have done a 24th D though, but I don't know if you can still get it. But no, they're the RAF one. We've had it in at some point. Was definitely 32nd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just set myself up on me makeshift stand.
It's a bit wobbly.
It is. It's not quite what I was planning.
You need some bigger blocks on the front.
That's better.
That's
it. Like, this one was ruining it. Ruining my mojo. Right.
Does Hasegawa have an email address?
Da.
I'm doing a kit from 1999 and the decals have disintegrated.
I don't think they'll honour that.
I'm going to say I don't think they're on that. Not after 23 years.
I think you're pushing your luck with that, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Get some aftermarket ones.
I was going to say, I think you're down the aftermarket one for that one.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know, you know, technically, if you bought the kit new, you know, but if it's a 1999 kit, it's not going to be a new kit, I don't think. So that'll be a little bit of a thing. You can email them and try. They have got an email address. You go to their website, just go to Hasegawa's website. There is a customer service thing. You can try your luck with it. But will they honour it? I don't know, to be honest. I bought this kit in 1958.
Yeah, the decals are out of register.
From Airfix, and your decals are out of register. They always were, sir, in those days. Yeah. That was the only option.
Part of the kit.
Do you remember that? Airfix decals back in the 80s?
I don't know. I don't think there was that much better in the 70s, were there?
Oh, well, yeah. Or even in the 90s, to be honest.
Hey, actually, talking of Airfix decals. Hey, talking of Airfix decals, just want to show you something. Remember the Marauder?
Yes.
I've had them in the window. They're not too bad.
Not too bad.
As it was. I mean, obviously,
you could probably get away with, because you're going over olive drab. You probably get away with that. If you go over like metal finish, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
but I think over olive drab, you'd probably get away with that.
Yeah, but they're obviously 70s decals from Airfix, and actually, you know what I mean. I think you could probably go. I don't think they've cracked or anything. A bit flat, a bit matte, but yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I've done mine now, so I was just experimenting. Like I don't know what the neighbours think, and people who walk past here when I've got stuff stuck in the window of me room with like decals.
To be honest with you, the first time, because Matt moved house last year, the first time I went up there, not having a clue where he is, so I'm driving along and I go past this house that's got decals stuck to the window. So I knew it had to be him. I didn't even look at the house number.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it was.
Yeah.
It's like having a sign out the front. I'm a modeller. Help.
Yeah.
What have we got? Gavin says it's 8:30 a.m. in sunny Canada. Morning, Gavin.
Morning, Gavin.
Decals for Glamorous Glen. 111 are hard to find.
Are there?
I don't know. Should we have a look? I can't do it on this one, can I? No, I can't do it. Sorry.
What kit is it for?
Yeah, what scale are you after?
Well, if it's Hasegawa, it's either 72nd or 48th, isn't it?
Hmm. Okay, Charles says, have any of you guys had issues straining your hands due to the hobby? I'm currently nursing a very sore left thumb as a result of my modelling. Fortunately, it's starting to get better now. Are you sanding an old Airfix kit or something?
Yeah, ask Phil in about 2 months' time.
Yeah, ask me in 2 months' time
when he's got
after I've done
repetitive
this.
strain injury.
I'll tell you what I did used to find years ago, that when I first got into airbrushing properly, that I used to find that my, sort of my pointy finger, it used to actually ache. And I think a lot of that was because I had a rubbish airbrush. I had that old Aztec, and I used to have to push down so hard on the nozzle, on the trigger, to get any paint to come out. My absolute hand would kill me after a session of airbrushing. And that's why a certain other modeler, I think, holds it down with his thumb. He's probably ruined his finger trying to get it to work, so now he uses his thumb and holds it down with his thumb. Yeah, that did. But that's because I was using an Aztec 470 airbrush, and that's just horrendous.
I know Andy had it the other night painting. He said his trigger finger was aching. He'll probably pipe up in chat if he's still awake.
Yes. Does anyone do an F4 Phantom J REF in any scale? I can't find one anywhere. Oh, yes. Hasegawa do it.
Hasegawa
back in the day. But don't forget, you can take any F4J and you can just put REF markings on it if you wanted to. So, you've got pretty much any ones these days. You can do an Academy one. You can do the Zucamori one. They haven't quite got there yet, have they?
No,
not yet.
No, they ain't got
done a J yet. But yeah, so you could do that, and then you'd be good to go with that. You just put your markings onto it if you're going down the aftermarket route. But Hasegawa did do it, because it's that funny, weird, bluey grey colour where they were painted incorrectly and then got repainted and stuff, wasn't it?
Is that squirrel grey?
Yeah, it might be. Something like that. I know it's a funny blue colour. Because that's famously when one got dropped, wasn't it? So they were manoeuvring them by helicopter out of storage to be refurbished. Didn't it in San Diego? And they dropped one in the sea. It got a bit swingy under the helicopter, so they jettisoned it.
Oops. Oops-a-daisy.
It is. Yeah, so anyway, we're looking after looking for Chuck Yeager's Glamorous Glen World War II aircraft, 48 scale. What is that for a Mustang, is it? Seeing as he sort of flew everything, did old Chuck.
I'd be surprised if you can't get aftermarket decals for that.
I would have thought so, yeah. I was going to say, that must be. Have a bit of a search around for decals just for Glamorous Glen. That was Chuck Yeager's wife, wasn't it? Bless him. He's been gone a few years now. I used to be on his Facebook.
Did you?
Yeah.
Stalking him?
Well, no, not really. We had a mutual friend.
Did you?
So I did that thing about I'm going to send him a friend request, see if he answers. And he did.
All right, fair enough. Oh, what did you put? I know such and such. Can I be your friend?
Basically, no, it wasn't quite like that. But I did send him a little note, and he came back. And we had a quick little chat. I can't say we're like friends, but he did answer me, and it was quite nice, really.
You didn't go out for windy walks together?
No, we didn't do windy walks or anything because he was in a different country. And he said, "Don't come near my home."
Yeah. You do know you were probably talking to a bot.
Yeah, no, it wasn't, because sadly, when he's passed, his wife sent us all a very nice letter. Little message. So yeah. Anyway, Hobby Time says yes, the A48 scale F4J Hasegawa did it. Plus, extra decal do them for 74 Squadron. With the FGR2 and the F4J. That's right. I couldn't think of who flew him. It's 74 Squadron, wasn't it? Zucamori apparently do a set for the F4J UK version as well. Oh, well, there you go. So that's it. I know somebody did. I'm pretty sure the old Italeri kit as well. If you buy the old Italeri kit of the F4J, which is horrible because it'll be the old
S kit.
esky kit, wasn't it? But in there you get the decals for 74 Squadron for the F4. Yeah, definitely. I would literally have a bit of a look around and see, because I'm pretty sure that Glamorous Glen, it's quite a famous aircraft. You should be able to find that on aftermarket decals somewhere.
Or somebody might have a set.
Well, somebody might have it. Anyone got a set? Spare one kicking around?
Somebody must have some.
Yeah, apparently Richard says he's just had a look around on the Hasegawa website. There's no customer support area anyway, and the telephone and there's telephone and fax numbers there. Welcome to 1990. Is that it? Is that about as up to date as they get? There's not even a contact email. I would send them a fax. Do you know what? I can't even remember the last time I sent a fax.
The people, is that still a thing?
I don't know. Can you fax people still? Do people even still have a fax number?
Just weird.
I remember a company I worked for many years ago, they had a fax machine and it was sat in the corner of the office with a load of crap all over it. And they were saying, well, we've got to leave it then in case we ever get a fax. I'm like, well, when the last time you have a fax? I don't know, years ago.
Yeah. But just in case.
Yeah, just in case somebody ever faxes them, we've got a fax machine. So, does anyone ever fax you? No. So why have you got a machine then? Well, just in case. Okay. It's like having a Morse code machine, just in case. There we go. Hobby Time says that Barracuda decals do them.
Barracuda.
So, plus try Kitswell decals. They do loads for the P-51. Thank you, Hobby Time. Good job.
There you go.
So also, somebody was asking about the RAF P-51. The Tamiya P-51 can be used to make a RAF version using aftermarket decals and red roux carb intake panels.
Right.
Is that the 32nd one then, Ivan, or is it the is this one of the 48 scale ones? Be quite nice, wouldn't it? Mustang with invasion stripes, RAF markings. What gets better?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I can't get that bloody Beaufighter out of me head, I can't, you know.
Yeah. Richard says that he's just noticed, Matt, you're using AK extra thin glue.
Yeah.
Has the same problem with the ring dropping out of the brush like the Tamiya.
They all do it. They all do it.
It's come from the same factory, that's why.
They all do it.
I take mine off now, to be honest, because it just drives me mad. I've had a full rant on this, and that's why mine now, look, mine don't actually have them, because they always fall out, and it's not going to evaporate tons, so I don't bother anymore. And they always fall out just as you're taking it out of the pot and not get all your glue off your brush.
Yep.
He's like, oh.
Guaranteed.
Oh, so Ivan says, yes, that's for the 132nd one. He's done it. Cool work. Nice. So there you go. You could do an RAF one with a quick little bit of conversion and some decals as well. That would be a good option. James says, I know Airfix done one in 72nd, but not aware if anyone did the FGR 1 or 2 in 48th. Hasegawa did. Don't forget, Hasegawa's ones are really nice. I've built quite a few of those over the years. But yeah, Hasegawa do it because obviously the difference between the FGRs 1 and 2s and our American versions is obviously ours have got the SPAY engines.
Oh.
So you've got completely different intakes. They're bigger intakes. They've got totally different nozzles at the back, but also underneath the fuselage, it's more lumpy bumpy under there because of the engines. The SPAY engines are a lot bigger. In fact, we ruined, what aircraft carrier was we on when we tested it? There's some aircraft carrier we were on. We ruined their deck. It buckled the deck because there was too much thrust coming out of them.
Too powerful.
They were too powerful for the ship. So apparently, we then thought, oh, we better upgrade ours then.
Yeah.
After we've ruined their aircraft carrier. But yeah, we ruined the aircraft carrier. So we had to have different decks and we had to have full water cooling on the catapult area and all the rest of it.
Right, Phil, look at your screen.
I'm there.
Right, this is a new
Yep.
dissolvable putty.
Right. By who? Whose is this?
Mr. Hobby.
Oh, right. Yep.
That stuff you can't go on with.
Yes.
How thin it is.
Yes.
What's it supposed to fill?
Very, 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 very thin. Is that just normal dissolved putty?
That's the new jar of like the because normally it says dissolved putty. Don't even say it on it anymore.
Oh, what do they call it now then?
No, it is dissolvable
Milk.
putty, but it don't say it on the label.
Oh,
I thought it was thicker than that.
to be honest, mine is thicker than that. If you could ever mix it, that is very, very thin. Was that a consistency of just white paint?
I could spray that. I'm
Yeah.
sure I could just put it in a hairbrush and spray it. I don't know. It's an odd product, this Mr. Dissolved Putty. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I must have. I've never got on with it. I found, to be honest, my biggest problem with that, it shrinks massively.
There's a lot of solvent in it, isn't there?
Yeah, so when it literally gases off, you get horrendous sink marks.
Everybody needs to gas off. It's not quite what I need.
No, I wouldn't bother.
No, I totally agree.
So apparently the trick with the extra thin ring, right? So if you've got a problem with your ring, is to put a bit of masking tape in there and squash it in, and then it always stays in.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, Paul, the Hasegawa version, if you're talking about that, was the all cotton brown one, but they did do normal versions as well. You get the FGR1, the FGR2, and they did the special commemorative version of the all cotton brown kit, which came with a few extras. That one, I think they all did really, but that one came with a bit of photo etch as well. The other ones come with white metal undercarriage because the undercarriage is slightly different as well. John says the new putty is voice activated. You whisper in the jar, thicken you sod.
Yeah.
And it'll start to work.
just leave
the
it
others
off.
are commenting about just leave the lid off and let it evaporate.
Yeah,
I prefer
there
John's
is that.
version.
Like I say, I know, yeah.
I prefer John's version. That makes far more sense.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest with you, I'm going old school. I am. What I've got is, this is part and parcel. Can you see the, that?
Yeah, bit of a seam in there. Yeah,
it's annoying me.
Yes.
And I want to fill it, but obviously it's going to be nigh impossible to sand.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get my head around what to use to. I thought I'd silver would to drop a bit of that in and a bit of a, ear buddy thing. Just wipe it out. Not that you're ever going to see it much, it's going to be obviously that way up. But
the other way of doing it, of course, if you put a bit of super glue in there.
That's what I was just about to
Or the other way to do it, if you put in a little bit of kicker first.
Yeah.
Spray it with a dob of kicker and then just put a good dollop of super glue in there. And then just don't do anything. And it will, you'll have to drill the hole out again. Well, but you won't have to touch it.
No, my plan was to get like an old scalpel like I've been using on the other seams and just
scrape clean it.
Yeah. Well, no, actually to put the super glue in.
Oh right, yeah. Well, you could do it if you're a bit purified. I'll just gloop it so it self levels.
Yeah, I'm just thinking what glue to use. I might just use some magnet, to be honest, because I've got a bit of body to it. I want something with a bit of body so it just don't fall in. I think I might need a new lid. This one's looking a bit.
Yeah, I think you've overdone that one.
A bit worse for wearing it.
You need some more jam. That's a good dollop of super glue on your top as well. Is it building up nicely in there?
Yes.
Oh, mine had it the other day. I grab it with the pliers and just twist it off, and it comes off.
I'm just going to set it on fire. What did I do with that? Oh, it's here. See ya.
Charles says watching us has got me into thinking about doing an aircraft kit. I haven't built in decades. He's got the trumpeter 124 scale Spitfire Mark V and Love Kit's 124 scale SE5A. if you haven't built for ages, you might just want to start with something a little sort of more 48 scale, maybe, just to get your teeth into it a bit more, because obviously jumping in head first into a big kit like that. But to be honest, the Mark V Spitfire isn't that bad. I did their Hurricane, what, last year? End of last year?
Beginning, weren't it?
Beginning of last year I did it. And actually it turned out really, really nice. Did a full video build on that. And it was all right, actually, considering it's an old kit. And I know it's not very accurate. And all the people are going, oh, you do realise it's like 4 mil too long. And I was like, yeah, well, it's what I've done. So, and it worked really, really well. So I was quite happy with that. Hobby Time says the Barracuda BC48011 is the P-51 Mustangs. Part 1 is the sheep that you're after. See, look, this is what this is all about. Well done, guys.
The community.
The community is here helping each other out.
Sorry if I'm not on camera, but I need to see what I'm doing. God, that's a massive gap, that is. Bad prep, that.
Yeah, like Paul says, your other technique is you fill it out with lacquer thinners and with lacquer base filler, and then just do my job of wetting a Q-tip and polish it up.
That's what I was looking in my filler thing
for. It's a bit longer winded to wait for it to do that.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that. But I'll dry off a minute. I'm not going mad. I just want to tidy it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that the other thing I was thinking is like a tiny bit of really thin plaggy cord.
Yeah.
And plug it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we'll see. We will see. Going back to who was it? Was it Charles? Did you say with the thing?
Yeah.
Stick to armour. Ain't got seam lines to deal with.
You'll be fine. Just throw yourself in. Richard says, not really a question, more of an experience. I tried 3rd Gen AK this weekend with X20A and it turned to glue. But with Vallejo airbrush cleaner, or thinners, or cleaner, no problem at all. It's like model colour, which I had the same issue with, but others may have used X20A successfully. Weird. But don't forget, the 3rd Gen stuff is a proper acrylic. It's not an alcohol-based acrylic. So that's what that will be. But you can thin it with lacquers. Lacquers will burn through and dissolve it. But again, it's not specifically designed for it. You know, I proved it using it. But my theory to it is, if you're just going to put lacquers through it, you might as well just buy a lacquer paint.
Very true.
You know, at the end of the day, if you're going to put lacquer thinners through your paint, why don't you just use lacquer paints, you know? But I know I did do the testing when we did the testing, and I did it on an old Buster, and we sprayed in with those German colours, and it worked a treat. It was a bit of a happy accident, only because I was cleaning out the airbrush, and I put lacquer thinners in it because I forgot, and it worked lovely. But again, if you're going to do it, then you would. But Vallejo's airbrush thinner and their cleaners are both really, really nice, and I use their airbrush cleaner as a thinner. With no problem at all. But it is that thing. If you're going to spray acrylics, keep with acrylic thinners. Use the 3rd Gen acrylic thinners. Is mega. It's really, really good. I've used it with loads of stuff now, and it just works with everything acrylic-wise. So I'm quite happy to use it with that. But you say, if you're going to go down the old lacquer route, you might as well just stick with lacquer paints. Paul says, Matt, are times that hard?
Yeah. Yep. I'm afraid they are.
Oh. If the decal instructions of the panel are no good, could the rest of the decal sheet be any good? Chances are it won't be. If you've got a situation where it's giving up on something like an instrument panel, when you get to the big ones, they might hold together slightly better, but they're still probably going to crack and be horrible. The only thing you can try is put a clear acrylic coat over them first. Micro Industries do something called decal. What's it called?
Oh, yeah.
Decal film or something, and you can put that, and you can brush it on, or you can airbrush it on over your decal sheet, and it will hold them together. It becomes like an extra clear coat on top, if you like. But then you will have to cut the decal sheet, otherwise it will come off in one giant sheet. So you will need to go round there and with them and either score them first or cut them out completely before you put them onto the model. But that holds them together quite nicely.
God, don't bloody kick a sting. Right, I think they're getting somewhere. Right. It's a lot of faffing for a bit you're never ever going to see.
Well, yeah, there is that to it.
You know. There you go. I don't know what's happened, but it's proper clouded over here. It looks like it's...
Yes, ours did. I must admit, we clouded over just before we came on air as well. So
yeah.
Coming in
bright
from the sea,
sunshine
I think.
like that,
yeah. That deck, have we got it in the store, Matt? That decal fixer stuff.
Should have, yeah.
Hold
It's
on,
probably
let me have a look.
it's probably in with the decal solutions.
That's what I'm thinking. Hold on, let me take people over to the store.
So, actually, while you're in the store, you need to get special offers.
There it is. That's the stuff you want.
That's it.
Liquid decal film.
A whole £4.
£4. There it is, or $3.99. You get a penny change.
Yeah.
So basically, what this stuff is, it recreates a very thin or an ultra thin, they say, film, like a new carrier film on the top. So it basically holds it together. If you've got a decal that shatters, that's the thing. Do you think we could have found a larger image? I didn't click on enlarge.
There you go. you can read the small print.
You can read the small print. But yeah, micro scale, micro industries, or Incorp as they call themselves.
Yeah.
Incorporated. Liquid decal film. That's the stuff you want. So yes, it's really, really good stuff, especially for old decals. So all you do, you have that. It's very, very thin, as it says. You can brush it on, or you can pop it through an airbrush. To be honest, I'll just brush it on. Let it completely dry, but then when you're going to go to put your decal down, you will need to cut them out because this makes an entire new clear carrier film, if you like. So it will literally just come away.
There you go.
So, yes,
right.
But that's the stuff you want.
That's the stuff. Right, Phil, cool. It's over to you, mate.
Me? Cool. Right. Okay. So what I thought was my Beth Jeffro impression. What happened was, right. So you might remember we were doing the Hurricane on Saturday. We did the underside completely. All I've done is, you saw me mask up. I've just put the brown on roughly. So I've gone further than it actually is down on here. Somewhere I've got the instructions. Here we go. So as you can see, it's literally just like that in these areas. And then what we can do is we can mask this off. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. You could do a technique which I've shown many times before, and there is full videos on the site for this. But you can take this, photocopy it, and then enlarge it until it's the right size. Now, a lot of people say to me, how do you enlarge it? So you can either measure it and do some degree in astrophysics, and it'll give you the percentage. Or all I do is I blow it up by literally 100%, and then I test it against the picture. And then if I've got to go a bit more, we just go up by another 10%. If it's too big, we go down a little bit until roughly we're in the ballpark. You don't have to be completely spot on with it, but basically you just blow it up to it's the right size. Once that's done, you've got two options. You can just put a couple of blobs of white tack or a sticky stuff, which we'll talk about in a minute, onto here, put the paper mask onto it, push it down slightly and spray it, and off you go. And as I said before, I've got full videos all about doing this up on the site. All right. Your other option, of course, is once you've blown it up on here, you can get yourself like a 40mm Tamiya tape, stick it over this, and then trace the outline of where it is in tape. All right. Take that off, put it down to your cutting mat, cut it out with a knife, unpeel it from your cutting mat, and then stick them directly to your models, making a hard mask, which works really, really well on 48 scale and 72nd scale stuff. All right. When you're into the bigger scales, you probably want a little bit of more feathered edging, but you can get away with that. Your other option, of course, is to make up tack worms. So this is white tack. All right. This isn't blue tack. Blue tack has oil in it. The trouble with the oil, if you put it down onto especially acrylic paints, the oils will leach out of this and go into your paint line. So if you ever get that funny little oily looking thing, swirly patterns around, it's because the oil is coming out of your white tack. So make sure you've got one which is an oil free. All right. So when you've got your oil free one, you basically just work it, knead it for a few minutes, and this will just get it all going. This is a brand new piece, to be honest, because I've only got a bit that big because I've been using it for ages. So once you've got it going, what you can do is literally grab a bit into small little lumps and bumps, warm it up. The reason for warming it up, it becomes a lot more pliable and it's more sticky. So if you're wondering why it won't stick to your model, it's because you need to warm it up a bit. All right. Once you've got it going, you just wiggle it up into a worm, hence its name. And they don't have to be massive, but the thing is, what we're looking at is the curve. So this has got a curve onto this. We'll take it down a bit. It's got a curve. The smaller this is, the sharper the line you'll get. If you wanted a nice sort of diffuse line down in here, quite a fuzzy one, you'd have a really, really big sausage. And this curve causes it, when you spray down onto it, because it's got a little curve on the inside, it will give you a more feathered edge, which is great. So what we will do is we'll just take this off here. We'll make this one a little bit smaller. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, just to answer a question. Somebody's put, can you reuse white tack when it gets paint on it? Yes, you just
roll it up.
And it's amazing stuff for that, isn't it? And then Oscar's put, Phil, you were going to show the special section of the store. We'll do it at the end.
Yes, we will.
We were got sidetracked, usual, wasn't it?
Sorry.
It's all right. It's fine.
All right, so we're just going to place it down on here, and this one is just a nice, gentle curve. And the great thing is with this, because it is what it is, it will just bends like this. What you need to allow though, sorry, we go full screen, I won't keep doing that. What you need to allow though is the curve, all right? So this isn't going to be 100%, but if you used to put it here, and then we look at our instructions, this is the only area we want to do, I can guarantee we'll be more to be halfway down in here. So always make sure you take it back just a little bit once on there, because what you're going to do is slightly press it down. And again, what you're doing is you're sharpening off this edge on here just a little bit, and then what you can do, you can just wrap the bottoms round to hold them in place. Give it a little bit of a pat down, just like that. All right, and that's the first one on. Then we'll do another one. So again, same thing, just gonna grab a bit. This one's quite straightforward because it basically just runs. And again, you're looking at the instructions on here, and you can see panel lines and things you're going to be following. So you see you've got a panel line down in here by the gun bay and all the rest of it, then it sort of tilts off. So it's pretty straightforward. This is the line we're going to be going. So we're on the inside to it. All right, so we just come in. Again, when you push down, it will go a little bit further over. It comes down to here, and then there's a little bit of a step in. So again, same thing, and then we're just going to tuck under, and we're just going to tuck under the front. And you can push it round. Now, if you wanted to add a little bit of detail into here, you can actually come along with a brush or a pencil and you can push it into certain areas. And there's a technique I've done in the past called feathering or leaf camo. And what you do is people say, oh, that's quite a sort of contrasting panel because looks like it's got leaves. All you do is pull this out to cover the different areas and work your way down in here, and it looks like leaves. I did a MiG-21 SU-25 years ago in full leaf camo. Looks really complex, but actually it's a doll because you're just using this and then you're just pulling the tack out to make a mask, and that's literally all you're doing. All right, so this is the area that will be green. It will be this slot in the middle, and then these will need to be masked up. And said before, I've got old masking tape left over from ages ago, so all we do, we're just going to place it down and we're just going to go in like this, and we just grab another bit because I've got bits of it stuck everywhere. This is just old masking tape.
So in our chat then, if you don't want to use the word worms, you can use sausages, a noodle, a wiener. Any more, anybody? Yeah. Yes.
Free the worms.
Roll up your wiener. Anyway, just a quick one, Phil, for you while you're doing that.
Go on.
Phil on YouTube has asked, I'm sure you've covered this subject before, and your suggestions, please, for aftermarket parts, decals, and cockpits. Thank you. Looking to start on the Airfix 172nd Handley Page Halifax. Good luck with that, Phil.
Good luck, yeah.
Good luck with that. I got a feeling, I mean, there's loads of aftermarket stuff for the Revell one. I don't know what mark the Revell one is, to be honest. Is that the same mark of a Halifax, is it?
I don't know. The Revell one's a Mark III.
Oh, right.
But I did an engine conversion on mine.
Yeah, this is
because I think the Revell one comes with, isn't it, the Hercules engines, and I changed them out to be Packards or whatever they are, Merlins in there or something.
Yeah. Best thing to do is if you go to Hannon's site, put Halifax in, and all the aftermarket stuff will come up. But I don't think there's anything out for the actual Airfix kit. The only possible thing you might get is an old Airwave set.
Yeah, because the Revell one, I'm pretty sure, comes with the radial engines, and I converted it to be the Merlin engines for a later version.
Yeah, just obviously, I presume you know that it's a very old kit, the old Airfix Halifax.
Airfix one, yeah. The Revell one's not that old.
No, but you have got to be careful with that because they reboxed the Matchbox one.
Well, yeah.
Didn't they?
Yes.
So yeah. It's the clear parts on the older kits. It's everything can be built, can't it? It's just the clear parts. But I don't know if the vac form companies do a set of better clear parts. I'm trying to think. Squadron's one. Who's the other one who does vac form bits? There's another one. I can't think. But anyway.
Yeah, but yeah.
No, they send worldwide. And send worldwide.
Yes. And you can get a lot of Squadron stuff over in Sprue Brothers if you're in that part of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on where you are, Phil, obviously, in the world. But yeah. Anyway, carry on, Phil.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Right.
So, I'll tell you what.
You're basically just working out the kinks and lumps in this.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm watching us on YouTube.
Yes.
And it's amazing how far behind.
Oh, was there a lot of lag today?
Oh my God, yeah. Yes, like loads of lag.
We do apologise for the lag.
No, I'm still using super glue.
Oh, are you?
Are
they literally that far behind?
Hey, from 3 shows ago. That far behind.
From last Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's pretty bad though. It's pretty laggy. I think you've just tackworming the wing up on YouTube and putting some tape.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how far behind that is, but yeah, a little bit.
Just a little.
Just a little bit.
Right. Okay. So, and again, the great thing with using tack is you can mould one into the other. So if you take a tool, I've got a join in here between both of them. We can just literally nibble and push them in, so we get a nice line. And again, you can use tools and various things. So this one's quite flat across the wing before it goes up onto the tail. So it sort of pokes up in here a little bit. So you can just come in amongst all of this and put all of that in. Just need one more bit for the front. And you don't have to do it all like I'll do in here. I'll probably do half, then I'll take the tack worm off. If you haven't got a lot of this, and then just spray the other half. So you don't have to have like tons of this and do it all in one. You can literally do one wing, spray that section if you want, take it off, take the tack, roll it up in your hands, warm it up again and reuse it again on the next bit. So you can do it stage by stage rather than in one. But this is actually quite a simple camo pattern compared to some of them. The later ones, I think they call it the B-type camo, is a lot more than what this one is. It's a lot more intense, which I think is probably, I know it's the wrong colour scheme, but this one under here. You can see it's a lot more wiggly and sharpy and lumpy bumpy compared to this one where it's quite just rounded and smooth. There's not a lot going on with this one, so it does make it a little bit easier. So down the back here, remember how this one goes. It goes somewhat down in here. And again, don't have your sausages too big. It's quite easy to think, oh, you know, just big chunky ones, because otherwise you don't need them that big. So we're just going to come down in. Everyone laughing about my sausage.
Not being too big.
Is it? Is that the problem?
Yeah, probably.
I know what I like a lot.
We can go down our normal road of innuendos if we want.
So, welcome to Thursday night shows.
Yeah, Thursday night innuendo show. So Oscar Spitfire, I want to try new paints, lacquers for my airbrush, and it's mostly a choice of MRP available locally at the hobby shop or Mr. Hobby C series. So obviously the thingy line online. What of the two should I go for? Which of the two I think he means?
Mm-hmm.
He's a spraying MRP.
Yes, MRP.
They are
straight out the bottle.
Straight out the bottle in your airbrush. Happy days. You can carry on. But again, the Mr. Hobby lacquers have been around forever, haven't they? They were kind of one of the originals, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So, So yeah, either are good, either will do the job. So yeah, pay your money, take your choice, isn't it?
Definitely.
Oh look, what's this? Hi Phil, do you think about squadron markings on decal sheet? Are they supposed to be white or some other colour? Sky like band.
Yeah, these should be sky
Sky.
colour.
They should be sky, shouldn't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we've said with these kind of builds, they're more just demoing pieces, I think, is the word we were going to use. They're not going to be anywhere accurate, or we're not definitely not rivet counting. So
no,
the little faults with the kit it comes with it.
Yes.
It's just more like techniques and spraying and weathering and that sort of thing we're doing with these sort of builds on these shows. So yeah, if you're a rivet counter, this definitely isn't for you.
Yes, if you're a rivet counter, look away now. But to be honest with you, it is a little idea. If you wanted to, I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but yeah, technically these should be in sky, the lettering. You could easily just use the decal sheet and then make a mask, and just simply make a mask out of tape, and then just copy the decal ones over. What I would do is photocopy them 1:1 scale, the decals, and then use them as a mask. Then the photocopy with a bit of decal sheet. And to be honest, it's quite easy on this because there's no curves. So it wouldn't be a rocket science to do it. We could do it, to be honest. Might do it. Not saying I will. I might get bored.
You're not going to get your digital calipers out and
get me digital calipers out and do it. Have I ever done that in my life?
Do you know what you could actually show, Phil? Which one? Because I can't. Oh, actually, I might be able to. But you more so if you're doing that is the Infinity boards.
Yes, or do it from the Infinity boards. Yeah.
And go off one of them for it. So.
Right, where does this go? This goes about here. And we're just going to worm him up the sides here. And then again, it's a little bit of a thing. You look at the down view, then you look at the side view. Usually they don't tie in. So you just have to use a little bit of whiffery sometimes to make the two tie in on these. So, I'm looking down on here how this comes up. So it is going to be definitely a little bit of whiffery how this comes up. But this is going to come up here. It's going to go around the front. And it's going to come down the other side. And I wish I'd made this a lot longer. So we go. What they all say.
We were getting a restock of Tamiya XF range soon. Wow, what we're out of? I need some XF2 and XF. Oh, we're not got none in stock. Actually, we're doing a thingy stock taker paint at the minute. Going through it all because it is a bit sort of haphazard. I will be honest. So my man has done a load of spreadsheets. So
yeah, Andy is now the king of spreadsheet and Excel.
He is. He loves it. He absolutely adores doing spreadsheets and Excels. So, but yes, we should be. We normally keep good stocks. Actually, it's not us who's been the problem. To be honest, it's hobby company. With what they've been gaining, hence the LP range has been lacking some for God knows how long. You can see how many paints we've got on back order. So at some point, when they do get a container in with paint, we're going to be absolutely flooded
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of trying to keep steady stocks, it's all going to come in one go.
Yeah.
Phil, could you use a thin clear tint to adjust the colour?
Yes.
I think you mean it's on the band. Yeah, you could really, couldn't you?
You could do, yeah. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Probably easy just to mask it and spray it, though. But
yeah.
Yeah.
And again, because you want, as you say, it's probably easier because you've got the colour there. It'll be the right colour. Where if you've got to tint it, you've probably got to work around trying to put a tint into it.
Yeah.
And stuff. So it's probably one of those things. It's more straightforward just to do it.
James, I'll just check on some of that thing when I'm back in because white and NATO black. I think if it's showing out on the site, but I don't know if we're actually showing out of stock on the rack. I will have a look tomorrow. I'm obviously not there today, but I'll have a look tomorrow when I go in.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll do the wing afterwards because that'll do a 2-minute job. I'll just mask this up and then we can get it over into paint.
Good stuff. So
that's my shout on that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to roughly...
I've never built that kit. Have you ever built the Accurate Miniatures early Mustang? Because that was an Apache, weren't it? Did they call them?
Yeah, didn't we do a review of that one?
I've
done a review of it back in the day. Yeah, it's wasn't it called the something P-36 Apache or something?
I think so, yeah, because Italy's re-released it not that long ago, and Academy, who own the molds, I think they've got it out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Didn't was it Hobby Boss do it as well? They did one. I'm sure
probably
Hobby Boss did an Apache as well.
did they? I don't know. I don't recall that.
From back in the day. Yeah, it's a P something or other, isn't it? And it's an early Mustang. It's like the Ford
Yeah.
era to the
Yeah.
Mustang.
Yeah. No problem. Take care.
Somebody leaving.
Yeah. Got to run an A36. That's the one, Terry.
Hmm.
Do you think Mr. Hobby will refine their paint as new groups come along, or do you stick with the same? I tell you what, Mr. Hobby at the minute, we don't stock the lacquer range, we stock the aqueous range, and a load of colours have been discontinued.
Do they?
Lots, because I was going through it with Andy yesterday because we're having a restock.
Hmm.
Obviously, I think we're out of thinners and stuff, so we're going through it, and I'm like, I've seen empty spaces on our rack, and going, this one, no, gone, gone, gone. It's like hemp is gone.
All right.
Some proper colours, not just obscure stuff.
Yeah.
They've discontinued Mr. Cement as
Mm-hmm.
well. Not S that I was using then. The normal one's gone, and the smelly one, limonene, is it?
Oh yeah, the lemonine one. Yeah.
Lemonine, how I pronounce it. That one's gone, and a load of other stuff as well. They've you remember the sets that you used to get for the cockpits? You know most of them have gone.
Mm-hmm.
The little colour sets have been discontinued. I don't know if it's discontinued, I presume, across the line, or it's obviously getting them in the UK. I'm not sure. But yeah. Would the tack worms work on 24th scale? Yeah, work on any scale.
Absolutely.
Really.
The tackworm way will work with any scale. Like I said before, if you just want a more feathered edge, just make the worms thicker. Oh God, we're doing all of this again. But make the worms thinner, and then obviously with the bigger curve, you get a more feathered edge. The smaller it is, diameter, the smaller the feathered edge you'll get. And again, you're just going to be spraying this, I'll show you in a minute, 90 degrees to it.
You need some girth on your worm.
You do need a bit of girth on your worm. The fatter it is, the better it is, apparently.
Really?
It's nothing to do with length.
Oh dear.
It's all about the girth. Right. So, oh, hello, Lola. You're well early.
I'm surprised Ours not been in yet. Mind you, I think she's tied out from the walk.
You've knackered her out.
Oh, look, the wife and child was home.
Oh.
So expect barking and excitement in a minute.
It's just like this house.
Oh, look. So, here's one for you, Phil. This is a good one. Since being in the UK, I've discovered and love your clay washers. Once I return back to the States, they are... Are they available or internationally shipped? Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. You can get from Brett at High Altitude Hobbies.
Yes, you can.
He's our stockist. He's also a member as well. He's a really nice guy. You shout to him on the site and all the rest of it. Brett's normally in live chat. So if you've got any problems, you can just shout to Brett about that.
Yeah.
But yes. So yes, it's yes and yes with that one.
Yes and yes. Oh, sure. You are right. The Woodhouse Goth.
The what? Who?
It's in chat. The Woodhouse Goth. High Altitude Hobbies is a US supply, if I remember rightly, and you do. You do indeed it.
The only trouble is not masking the right side of the worms. That's annoying. Yes, it is, and I've done that many times.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. Right, last bit. I will do this wing and then we're done. So that's going to be in here. So this green is going to go right from the outside of the gun. So we're going to go right from the outside of the gun. It goes pretty much down to there. And then it goes down a bit. And then it's going to go over. Yeah, actually, it doesn't quite make it. I thought it did. It doesn't quite make it to the other side. Right, last bit. Get it over to paint. Well, I've even prepped my airbrush. Good like that, you see.
Have you?
I have.
Have you done a Blue Peter and thought ahead?
Well, I haven't put any paint in it yet, but I have cleaned it.
Oh, right,
I might not have cleaned it from when I sprayed it. So, yes. Remember, kids, don't do as I do. Right. That one goes down in there. And this one apparently just runs to there and comes down. Again, it's a really nice, easy scheme on this, because it's not at all tricky. But if you wanted to, if I just show you in here, if you wanted this to maneuver all you do is pull it, and you can pull it around, and you could make it far more interesting. And that's just for a curve. Just stick your finger on and drag. If you wanted to do tighter stuff, the best thing is to use like a pencil, and you can do the same thing. So you can literally pop it around, and you can just drag it in to make. And again, you've got tools. To be honest, I quite like using this thing because you can literally pull it and drag it, and then once you've gone too far with an area, you can pull it back, and you can put in really detailed little marks and wiggles and joins with it, and you can literally just mold it all around. Obviously we don't want that, but yeah, you get the idea. You can just, you know, go in really, really nicely with it and just push it all around. And again, if you make it quite sharp, and then you just give it a nudge down, and that will just smooth it round then. To be honest, I've got a worry on this one here. I'm not happy with how that is, so we're going to have to sort that out in a minute. But once you're down like that, I'll just grab a bit of tape. And again, you'll be able to reuse your masking tape as well. So it is quite frugal way of doing this. You know, it's not a total, you know, oh, I've lost the, you know, your tape or anything else like that, you know. But just make sure, like the guys are just saying, make sure you double check it before you get going, just to make sure you're all in the right areas, because it can be annoying. It's not a problem because you're just going to go back and you're going to redo. But once you're in, just give it a final little pat down of all your areas where you are.
I say though, it's annoying, isn't it, when you're wrong side of the line.
Yeah. Again, I just want to nudge this one down in here because it's again, once you're in, it's a bit close. It's on the flat side rather than the other. So what we want to do is just roll that out. It'll be fine. Right, okay, so there we go. Successfully all masked up. We're all happy with that. Pretty much like we've got in here, so that's good. So what we'll do is we'll just move over. One day I won't pull my microphone lead out. It's my earpiece lead. The thing is, like, because I'm in my earpiece, I have to have it at full volume. So it's a bit where someone talks, and it's like deafens everybody. Okay, so down in here, I've already prepped my airbrush, which is clean and is all ready to go. And because we are spraying on here, we don't want to get it too wet, because if you make it too wet, what it's going to do is stick, and it's going to get too wet, and it's going to then leach, and it's going to track under these. You don't want that. So when we're making up our mix here, we're going to be using the REF dark green, which is RC286. We want to make what I call a drier mix. Is this the empty one? I've got one of these is empty. Hold on, I picked up the wrong one. I have another one. Here it is. So yeah, this is a brand new one. So what you want to do is, where I always say make it quite a thin mix and you lower your air pressure, this time we're actually going to make it quite a thick mix, just because I don't want it to leach. And obviously, because as soon as it's wet and it starts to track along these tack worms, you've lost what you're trying to do of get a slightly feathered edge. All right. In that case, you might as well just go with sticking it down directly. So what I will do is, because I'm a professional, is make it in the colour cup. Is to make it in a little cup. You're not going to need tons, purely because there's not a lot of paint going on in here. So we're just going to take this, and as always, I'm going to sort of eyeball it. So we're going to go in here with probably around about a 60% paint mix, a little bit thicker than normal. So what I want to do is, when I make it up in here, I want it to stick to the side, and it covers quite nicely. It's not just scooting off. So I normally thin this stuff anywhere between, you know, sort of 70 and 80% thinners. Again, that's probably a little bit more. So this is probably, I reckon, 60% thinners, 40% paint. It's still going to be thin enough to spray, but it's covering the bristles a little bit more than normal. And it's just because I don't want it too wet. You could, if you put it down fine enough, not have a problem with this. But seeing as I'm completely ham-fisted at this. All right, so paint goes in cup.
At least you remember to put the lid on.
I've got the lid on today, it's fine. Right, we'll check our flow. Coming through, looking nicely. It's struggling a little bit, so I'm just going to turn the air pressure up just a little bit. And it's a little bit higher than I do normally, but this because we want to spray it on. All of this time, we're going to be coming on 90 degrees. We're not coming in at 45 and making wet layers and all the rest of it. We're coming straight in from above. That way, we're getting even line. If you do it even up here, and then you start to come in here, what's going to happen is you're going to lose that feathered edge. So again, we're just going to come in, starting off both down on these sides, and we're going to work our way across. And then we're just staying right on the top for the minute. Just like that. Now we've got to do the leading edges as well, but we don't want to come in underneath them. We still want to come in from the top. So we're going to shoot down here. And to say it's quite a high air pressure, as you can probably hear. And now we're just going to come in from this side. And you can see we're not getting this wet build-up like we've had with previous coats. This is because the paint's a little bit thicker. So now, once we've got a bit of paint in there, and we know it's not running, we can come in at a high air pressure, and we can put that wet coat in, because I'm pretty sure it's sticky enough that it's not going to ruin the line. All right, and that's it. But all the time, we're coming 90 degrees in. So we're just going to come across these top ones. We're going to pop down this back area. There we go. We're just coming in from these tops. And then what we'll do, we're going to switch. We're going to come to the sides and the underneath. And probably a little bit higher pressure, if I'm honest. But I think it'll be fine. Move the cockpit. Move the top. Do the canopy. This back one here, we just come in here. And then again, trying to keep it as nice as we can in all these areas. So the shadow falls even. That's all we're trying to recreate. Again, we want to keep it quite wet. Running out of places to grab here, but hey.
Just to answer the question while you're doing that, we're normally on a Tuesday and every other Thursday afternoon, aren't we?
Yeah, and sometimes Saturdays.
And sometimes Saturdays, yeah, depending. But yeah, mainly on a Tuesday, and especially over summer as well, we're going to do this. So Tuesday afternoon from UK time, 3 till about 4:30, give or take.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and you'll get notifications.
Yeah, there's that. That's what he's just said.
And a thumbs up.
Yeah, and a thumbs up.
Don't forget your thumbs up.
And a super coffee or whatever it is.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet. We haven't set that up.
All right, whatever.
Buy me a coffee.
Buy me a coffee and all that sort of stupid job. No. So yeah.
Okay, last couple of bits, and I've put my finger in one bit, so I'm going to have to slightly redo that in a minute.
Oh no.
Well, it wasn't the wet bit, it's just that I know I've moved the tack worms around.
Right.
Is that brown down there? Can't remember. Perhaps I should have asked that. I'm pretty sure that's brown down there. It is. Right, should have asked that. Don't worry about it, it's fine.
Wing it. What normally
We're winging it. Live TV, people. Okay. Yeah, this one on here, I'll stuff it. We'll just do it anyway. It'll be fine. In that, happy, I think.
Yeah, he's simple as that.
Bit round here. All okay. Over that. Pick up a coat, just make sure we're nice solid greens. Again, don't forget we'll be coming round and weathering and fading back paintwork. I'll show you all about that when we get to it. So yeah. This is literally just stage 1 weathering. Pretty sure my air pressure is very high.
It sounds really high.
It is, it's very high even for me. So
we're going back to the good old days.
It is. Yeah, you don't need it that high. It's just I'm doing it for speed.
You
What I'll do is I'll bring it over here.
Yeah.
And then what we do, we'll just let it dry for a couple of minutes, because what you don't want to do is come in now, because obviously it'll still be a little bit wet on these tackworm bits and it'll fold in. But if we just give it, I know we're going slightly over today, but in 5 minutes we'll undo it and we'll be good to go. So
get the hot air dryer on it.
I haven't got one because it melted.
Oh.
Do you remember? It went all sticky with me, so I was
no, I mean like the what's it called? You got the infrared thing.
Hot air gun. No, I won't put the hot air gun on it because that'll really do a job. It'll look like a Airfix kit from the 70s.
Yeah, just melt it. That'd be fine. It's all right. Actually, while you're doing that, you might as well. Can you go to the shop just to show
I can, yes.
The special bit we were on about earlier for anybody who's interested?
I can. Then we've got to take everyone over to the auction as well.
We have, yes.
Okay, over to the shop.
So if you go into special offers, as you can see at the top, we've got some silly prices on a couple of Ed-Odd kits.
Oh, nice. Look at that. That's good. It's a bargain. £11.66 and £9.47.
For a 48 scale weekend.
That's a good kit. I've built that one.
Yeah, it's an excellent kit. So that's a proper good price.
It is. That's a very good price. So there you go. Under a tenner for a 48 scale kit and just over a tenner as well. Look at that. That's a bargain.
It is a bargain. Yeah.
We'll have to talk about this afterwards because I didn't know anything about this until now. I'm as shocked as everyone else.
There you go, see. Just sprung that surprise on you.
Mm.
So yeah, can't go wrong for that, can you? For that kit.
No.
Then obviously
we sold out of Lightnings. It's a shame because I've got a review of that coming up this week.
Yeah, hopefully, I think it is back out now, and I also think the F6 into the other one.
Yes. The one with the square tail, as I know it.
It's at somebody's grocery store, so I presume it's out.
Right. Okay.
Let's put it that way. So we'll be getting it. I'll get again.
Is it at Dawn's?
I can't tell you what grocery store it is.
Auntie Dawn.
It's at Arkwright's grocery store. So we'll see. Yeah, but hopefully we'll get some more of them back in when we get a restock because it's sold really well. But I know Andy's had a load of messages and stuff of, can we get any more?
Yes.
If you do want any,
yeah.
I don't know if he's got any left. This is mainly UK guys, but Gary at Tiger Hobbies have got some.
Right.
So I did say I'd give him a shout out because he's got some left. So if he has got any, then go and grab them from him as well. So yeah, I think that's a good deal. The old Hellcat and the 109. Good solid little kit.
Yes. Right. Okay. So we've got something special coming up for members, just to jog your memories as well. Andy has put this up on the forum now. This is our live auction event. Remember, you have to be a member. Terms and conditions are all in here about the postage costs and all the rest of it. So I'll just run you quickly through this one. So we've got the test lot. This is the one so we make sure everyone knows what lag planet we're on. If it's anything like today, it'll be horrendous. But I'll put it onto live mode, so it's pretty much no lag for the actual auction, as you know. But anyway, I'm giving away, not giving away, but auctioning off a very special lot, which has got the mouse mat, the sticker set, and the card set, and the sticker. There'll be a badge as well in there and all the best of it. There'll possibly be a mug in with this. I'll get it all together for the auction so you can actually see it. Also, there is 4 packs of our polishers and 4 packs of our sanding sheets. Obviously, we've got a few more kicking around. Obviously, they're out of stock now on the site. They've all gone. But obviously, I would like to make sure they're all sorted before we take them out of stock. So we have got some of those still kicking around. So you've got all of those. Also got thick washing with that. But there will be other bits and pieces added to it. You'll get full onto that one when we get there. But anyway, that is lot 1 up there. And then you've got Matt's items. Do you want to talk us through it? Yeah,
can do. So just to clarify, this is actually the team stuff, nothing to do with PM.
No.
This is all team's own kit. So obviously, members will go through this more on Thursday night. But for the member who are on, obviously, you'll be getting invoiced through us individually. So,
yes,
if you win a couple of my kits, obviously combine it. But if you win one of mine, one of Andy's, one of, then obviously you're going to pay separate postage. But we'll go through all that, like I say, on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we've got, obviously, this is the fantastic monogram original.
Yeah.
Ravel,
really nice
the Wild Weasel, and actually that's got 2 sets of full decal sheets in it. That kit. Nice. So, and it's a really good kit.
Yes, it is. Excellent kit, that one.
Like an amazingly good kit for its age. It's, yeah, and I like the F105. It's the problem, like I say, I'm having a proper sort out and cull at the minute. I've got some stuff up on eBay for buy it now, and obviously I'm putting stuff in the auction. I'm getting me stash back down again. It's got a bit wild, shall we say. So,
yes.
at some point in the future, I will be getting that kit again
Mhm.
and building it, because I've really wanted to do an F105, and especially the G in the C camo. So it is on my to-do list at some point.
Very nice.
So
Cool.
the old Airfix MI24 AD,
Yep.
which is still shrink wrapped if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Again, that was original. I've got a Zvezda one, so if I ever
Mm.
built one, I did the Zvezda one. Obviously, this is a classic, the old Matchbox Hayford.
Absolutely. Wacky races at its best.
Wacky Racers at its very best. So if you're into that, obviously that's up. So this
Very
is
nice.
my version of what Phil's got the other one. The reason I'm selling that is I've actually got an Italeri version and a Fujimi version, and I can't see me building 3.
Right.
So something's got to give, and the Airfix one is going to go. But actually, that's not a bad kit either. Phil will probably do a review of his.
Yeah, I've got one here to do a review. One of
I-
my kind members has sent me a few bits and pieces with one of them is it. So there will be a review coming out, and I've got plans to build mine.
Yeah.
So
But when Phil builds his, I'm planning on building one of my either the Italeri one or the Fujimi boxing. One or the other as a sort of a, I won't say a buddy build, but you know what I mean. So so yeah, that's that one. Obviously, is a bit of a classic that we've not seen for a while.
No,
which is
PR9.
the 72nd PR9. I built that years ago, to be honest. I built a hemp one.
Very nice.
Another classic. Phil's built that.
I built that. That was actually one of our live shows we did a couple of years ago during COVID, if I remember rightly. I did it.
And it's a good little kit.
It's a fantastic kit.
You know,
Again, classic Hella. It's all raised detail, but it's raised in real life, so it's fine.
It is.
Yeah.
But they're really good rivet detail, aren't they? Obviously, the Belvedere, you know, I always hope on, but I've got a couple of them, so one's going to go.
Yeah.
The big CH53 as well.
The 48 scale.
That one there, I'll explain more about that on Thursday, them two.
Right, fair enough.
But they're the links again, and then the Super Sherman for me.
Very nice. And then Andy's got up, this is Andy's lots, he's got up the Cauldron.
Another
very nice. Copper State Models. I've done the review of that kit. It's mega. Very nice. And the floats are supposed to be the wrong way round. Just saying. I've built this one as well. It's a full video build for this one as well. So you've got the Ural 4320.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well. And I've built this one as well. Jesus, is he going through everything I've built?
Yeah, it looks like it.
This is the Takom full interior King Tiger. I'd say it's full video on that one as well. I haven't done this one. But again, he's got the aftermarket engine for it available as well. So it looks like you've got a very nice, if you want to do the T72.
Yeah.
So you've got the full engine for that one as well. As I say, the Special Hobby Casa. Very nice.
Yeah, interesting playing that.
Interesting one at all. We've got the Bradley. So this wasn't this a limited edition one they did? Yeah, it is. The deluxe limited edition with the metal tracks. Yes.
Yeah, he picked this up at Cosford.
Yes.
If I remember. And I've figured that what they call Grotche, whatever they are. Never seen that kit. We definitely never gonna stock it. So it's quite a collectible. It's a very nice kit if I remember rightly.
Yes, if I remember rightly, it is a really nice kit. That one.
Yeah.
Very nice. From me, these are all kit reviews. So the review sample ones that I've got from my side of it, independently of PM. All right. So as I say, don't worry about it. You'll bid. I'll knock the VAT out of it and all the rest of it. So don't worry about that. But as I say, mine will have that on them, so to speak. But don't worry about it. I'll sort it. So you've got the Hobby Boss A10C Thunderbolt 2. We've got the Copper State Models Romfel Panzerwagen. Is that one? Panzerwagen 1. It's probably the first one they did. You got the Mastiff, the huge Mastiff 2 as well from the main one. We've got the Flogger, the BN23 as well version with a sloopy nose. We've got the review from the F4G from the main one. Another review one as well was for the F35A. We've got that one up, as you can see down in there. And then we're over to John's stuff. So we've got some of the Duke Hawkins books. As well from John. So we've got SU-27s and 35s down in there. We've got MiG-29s. We've got MiG-15 books. We've got SU-25. Is this because he's moved away from Russian and he's gone all to German now? Yeah. Okay, so we've got the mainstay, Russian stuff and all the rest of it. So you can see from those ones. And that's it. And then Nathan's gone proper old school. I thought you'd build this.
Older than me.
Older than everyone.
Mine are old.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got the Avro down in there, biplane, 72nd, classic Airfix. This is a nice kit, to be honest. That's it. It's the D9 Focke-Wulf 190. That's actually a really, really nice kit, to be honest. That's a really nice kit as well. I've got that one. 72nd F4J from Academy. And, oh, look, the Night Fighter, the Arado 240.
Yeah, I haven't seen that around for a long
Haven't seen
time
that
either.
for a long, long time, to be honest, no. Oh, look, the Samba Bus.
Samba Bus.
With a proper split windscreen and everything as well, from Volkswagen, or Revell even, 24 scale, very nice. And then last up we've got down in here is the Royal Class. So in here you get 2 MiG-15s. How many did you get in total? Oh, you get 1 MiG-15, 1 MiG-15 Biz, and 1 MiG-15 UTI in that kit. Plus the fact you get all the goodies in there. So you get the glass.
So that one times MiG-15, 2 times.
Yeah. Oh, 2. So you get 4 MiG-15s.
And then one times 2-seat trainer, and then the glass and whatever else you get, and what extra, and a bit of a real MiG-15. That is a proper collectible item.
It is, because we were discussing these, because you can't find these for the love of the money. I'm surprised he's actually doing that. Is he skint?
No, well, no, I don't know. We was just on about it yesterday.
Because saying you can't find Royal Class stuff anywhere at all these days.
That's a real collectible item, even in that scale. So yeah,
it is
interesting stuff. So
it is.
That's it so far. There might be a couple of additions.
Yeah, we'll probably throw some other bits. I'll put that together. There may be a few other bits and pieces in there as well. Yeah. So,
well, it should all be, I would say, done by Thursday, because is that live now? That.
Yes, that's up on the forum now. So you can bid now, people, for pre-bids if you're not around.
For a pre-bid, usual thing is obviously message Andy with your lot number, what it is, and how much you want to bid, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, cool. Good stuff. Really good stuff.
Right. Okay. So just a final reveal section. So what you do now is really easy. You just peel it off. So there you go. So what you do, you can peel it off, and then you're careful. You can grab your tack back. You might lose a little bit on here. All right. So you can just use your tack back like that. I'll show you that in a minute. And then obviously, hopefully, here we go. Grab your tack back. I'll show you just how this comes back to life, because it is quite good, because it looks proper skanky and it has got no real bite to it. But honestly, once you manipulate this and pull it around, it goes a bit funny colour because it sort of stains in. But if you warm this stuff up again, you can use this again and again. And to be honest, this bit's been used many a time doing this, but you can see it just goes in. But if you just keep kneading at it, that's good enough to be used again, no problem at all. All right, so don't worry about it. Okay, so if we just flip under hot and we just whip around all of this. As I say, I'll go and dig me tape out in a minute. I'll just whip all this off. That can come off the back there. This is the bit I'm worried about, if I'm honest. We might have to put a little bit of overspray in there, but that's because I forgot to mask it up. Actually, it came out better than I thought. Okay, and then just these under here. Round the back. A bit of tape in the middle. That's good. And then these on the front. Now we can do under here. The bit where you take it down to primer again.
That'll be fine.
That's fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, you're obviously live, aren't we? So
well,
anything can go wrong when you're live.
Yeah, it's like Thunderbirds. Anything can happen in the next 90 minutes.
Yeah. And it normally does.
Yes, as it normally does. There we go. You can probably see that's coming on actually quite nicely down in there. And then off the front, off the back here. Ooh. Again, I've got to do a little bit of touch up just down here on the back because I didn't mask it. This there, I should have masked it, so I've got a little bit of overspray. But there we go. That gives you a really nice camo pan. I've got a little tiny bit of overspray just in there. And then what you can do, if you've got that, you can work with it. So what I'm going to do is I would drag that back. So I just take another little bit of tack, just a tiny little bit. And I've still got the paint in the colour cup. And you can just literally come along, just pop that in, and I'll respray that just to drag it down in there. So literally just a tiny bit. We'll mask off those areas and just literally tack that in just down there. I've got another one as well, which is this here. It hasn't quite just gone in as I wanted it. So again, we'll just remask and pop that in. But the rest of it, you can probably see it's come out. And again, it's only a simple pattern line. You just got those areas in there. really straightforward. And at the moment, it's glaringly bright and all the rest of it. And that is because it's the paints we're using. You know, they are very satiny glossy. And that way you can actually just decal straight over this, which is what I'll end up doing probably.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I will go around and touch these little bits in. But there you go, gets the idea for it. And then what we can do is we'll get the decals onto it, get them sealed in, and then we can have some real fun. And we're going to fade and weather all of this lot in right the way through. We're also hand paint up, which I'll probably do off camera, just the wheel wells. So we do those in a bit of silver. But generally, as you can see, it's exactly what we're after. So we're happy with that. Happy how that turned out.
Looking good, that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice indeed. So there we go. Quick demo on that one.
Lovely.
Very nice. Very good. There we go. That was the Tuesday show.
Tuesday show. Yay.
Tuesday show. Good job. Right. What are we doing on Thursday? Is it members on Thursday?
Yeah, members. It's members.
Members on Thursday. I've got to remember. I can't remember these days. My head is a sieve. So we've got a member show on Thursday. Unfortunately, we're not on this Saturday because I'm away. But obviously, it's another bank holiday in the UK because, hey, we seem to have one every 5 minutes.
Why not?
So,
why not, indeed?
So, yes, we've got another bank holiday this weekend, but I am away from it. So the next time we'll be back live like this for YouTube land anyway, will be actually on next Tuesday then, won't it?
Week today, isn't it?
A week Tuesday.
Yeah. So
members...
I was just saying, my plan with this is just so get a bit more prep done, is to get the glass work in, and a few odds and sods like to fit it on, and then I should be ready for paint. Really, that's my plan. So hopefully by next Tuesday we'll be painting that. It'll be fun.
That would be good.
Yeah,
very nice indeed. So we will be back with you though tomorrow. Obviously we've got the PM show, so we'll be on with you for that one, and then obviously members, we'll be back with you on Thursday night. For that one, I'll be back with you with hopefully part 1, which it will be, of doing the Beaufort as well, the ICM Beaufort. I'll be starting on that one over the next this week, making our way up. You got the review of the Kotare Spitfire is up with you as well. I'll probably wait till next week before we do the one for the Lightning, because there's no mass panic on that one. And then obviously we've got the weekend off, and then Monday night we've got the auction. So again, usual thing, if you're not bidding, you can still join us because it's always a giggle. We can have a couple of beers, the snacks, the usual bits and pieces that come with it, and we can have a bit of a giggle doing it.
Yeah. Cool.
And that is it. Right. Okay then, guys, we will leave it right there. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and please give us a thumbs up because it just, well, massages my ego, if nothing else. So everyone likes to feel they're wanted. So yes, right. That'll do then, guys. If we're all done, Matt, are you clear? You good?
I'm all done. Yeah, I'm all good, mate. Absolutely.
Good and clear. Right. Okay then, guys, we will leave it right there. I'm going to pick away at masking tape now. Get the masking tape back. But we will see you all again very soon. Happy modelling. Take care. And we will see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Bye.